Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the Empowered Educator, the place where you can get those great nuggets of information for free so that you can be the best teacher for your students that you possibly can be. This week has been a whirlwind of a week. I hope you had an amazing week. I'm on spring break currently, so I'm recording this a little bit late and releasing it. I got through last week, had lots going on. I had to do some work on the campus, some extra work on the campus to get things wrapped up before spring break. And then I found out there's changing my position a little bit and all the things. And then I went out on the weekend and I got myself a new puppy. He's not a little bitty baby puppy. He's 4 years old, but Cobain is going to be a great addition to my household. So looking forward to spending time with him and teaching him all the things. Having said all that, this week I wanted to talk about feedback in the classroom. I'm going to tell you, this is one that when I'm coaching teachers and evaluating teachers, it gets missed so often. Sometimes I think teachers feel like if they say thank you or nice job, that's feedback. Now, I call it positive reinforcement, right? And I was explaining to one of my teachers that I coach just this last week the difference in how I view positive reinforcement as compared to feedback. I see feedback as being much more academic. Positive reinforcement is saying things like, I like that you got your workout and got started right away. Great job. You have all of your materials, and I did not have to remind you to get started. I like how so and so standing in the line. Thank you for entering the classroom so quietly. So and so and so and so did a fantastic job. That is a lot of great positive reinforcement. I think we have to have as much of that as we possibly can in the classroom. And as I was explaining this to the teacher I was working with, we were talking specifically about this ratio between reprimanding or redirecting and positive reinforcement. And I remember this from all my days of being trained in champs, if I had to reprimand a student for something or redirect for something, any kind of negative something, right? I made it a point for myself to then follow up with three opportunities to find something they were doing right and make sure I mentioned it. So, for example, if I had to say, Sherry, you are not walking in my line the way I want you to walk, let's fix it. To me, that's a negative, right? That's something that has to be redirected. Now I need to find three opportunities to watch Sherry do something right. The first one, of course, needs to be when she fixes her behavior in the line, make sure to note it, and then find three more or two more. I feel like that keeps a good positive relationship. If a student keeps hearing you only tell them everything they're doing wrong, why would they even want to come to your classroom? Why would they really even want to be there? But this week, I want to focus a little bit differently on what is academic feedback. When you're talking about this kind of feedback, this is when you're being very specific about what the student is learning, what they are producing, how this will guide them to continue on the path they are on, or be able to help them do something better. For example, if I am doing a project in a classroom and I'm at the point on my project that I need to take it to my teacher so that my teacher can review the work that I've done, I'm going to expect that the teacher is going to say something besides nice job. I would want my teacher to say something like, "Oh, you have some really strong sentences written here in your summary," or "You've done a lot of really great research. And let's see how we can make this to be even a little more powerful." It's not about you're doing well or you're doing not well. It's about specifics. And it's about specifics for that student. I sat in an observation not too long ago, and this observation lasted for an hour, 60 minutes. And during that 60 minutes, I didn't hear the teacher give one piece of feedback academically to the students. And when they finished and we were wrapping up and debriefing on the observation, I asked the teacher, how did they do on the final assessment? And she said, well, they didn't do very well at all. And I said, why do you think that is? She didn't realize the power of what academic feedback can do for students. It is something there to help guide their direction. It's like their roadmap. So I want to liken it to something that's very real for us as teachers. What if your principal came into your room, did a full observation, and you never found out anything from it? I know for me, I'd be going to my principal saying, hey, you came in my room, you took notes, you were observing me, but I never got any information back. How did I do? And I know you would be wondering too. Feedback is truly a gift. Whether it is feedback telling us we're doing something the way it's supposed to be done, or it's feedback telling us that we have to make adjustments, it is actually part of that one-on-one relationship, academic relationship with our teacher, our leader, to be able to know if we're doing well or if we need to continue to build and grow. And this is the same for our students. So this week, as you may be on spring break or you're getting ready for spring break, or maybe you have a few weeks going into it, we're in the middle of March almost, and this is the time for us to really think, how is my feedback affecting my students' future and their academic success? Am I giving students information to let them know that they're doing well or they need to make adjustments? And then, of course, when they need to make adjustments, am I following up with much better? This is why it's much better, and not just saying, nice job. Positive reinforcement definitely has its place, but academic feedback is what's really going to move the needle for your student success. So I will see you all next week, right back here on the Empowered Educator. And until then, think about your academic feedback. When we get this right, we are going to have students that soar beyond our biggest belief. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you all next week.